All right, I'm back. Same day, same. What is it? 3:10. All right, I'm gonna get into it quickly, so I don't. Bless my brothers and sisters, Lord. Give us a contrite, humble, understanding spirit. Give us peace today and every day. Give us your love. Give us your grace. Give us your understanding, your wisdom. Feed us with your bread, the bread of life, the bread of truth. Amen. You're welcome. Thanks for being here, everyone. I'm trying my best to do this and make it interesting and make it understandable and not be a retard, like Gabar said. I'm beating up on a retard. Fuck you, Gabar. Straight up, fuck you, dude. You're gonna see who a retard is pretty soon. Anyway, we're going into the churches because I'm gonna start. I'm gonna go back to church. In my teachings a little bit, because Israelite studies, the only people that want to hear about Israel are Jews, Jewish people, or Black Hebrew Israelites, and they're not my people either. So when I speak about my tribe and Israelism, Judaism, Judah, Benjamin, of the 12 tribes, some of you have more of that than others, but basically what's happened in the world is we've come to the Church of Jesus Christ. And so I'm trying to bridge the gap somehow, which isn't easy. That's why Jesus had such a hard time. He was a Jew trying to explain that he's not like his dad. Do you guys know David? So anyway, we were going through Pergamus. Pergamus, this church, very close to where Satan is. How's it say it? I know your works and where you dwell, even where Satan's seat is. Seat is means throne. So when it talks about this, I know what it's talking about. These are the principalities and powers. Pergamus was very close to the powers, the dark powers, the light powers. There was, you can't just say that if you're a fallen angel, you're wicked. That's not true. That's not true. And people have really made a mistake by not understanding that you may be entertaining angels at any time. And the ones that are coming to you that you may want to entertain, a lot of those aren't wicked angels. Some of them are, though, so you got to watch out for that too. They might come to you wearing sheep's clothing. But anyhow, I'm not going to stress that information because you guys hear me talk about it all the time. So what was happening, what we got to understand, why I say, yesterday I was talking about, the Lord says, come out of her. Who is the her? Basically, it's Mother Mary worship. It's the church of this world is fertility, God worship, Semiramis. I haven't studied that pagan stuff for a long time because I came out of the pagan church probably 8 years ago. 7 or 8 years ago. And so I don't do Christmas. I don't do Easter. I don't do church anymore. Yeah. So this is about as close to church as I get. Let's see. So married. married to a political system was Pergamus. Not only a political system, but a hierarchy in the spiritual world too. Pergamus married itself. Israel married itself to the world, and that's where the fornication and the idol worship, and it's a hard time, especially for my tribe, Benjamin. I recognize Mary, Mother Mary, as the regeneration of Rachel, my mom. And we could go into that. But some of these spiritual things, that's what it is talking about. The manna that was given to me. What's it say? The end of this. Let's just move on from Pergamus. You get the idea. Pergamus married itself to idols, false gods, but won by staying close to God. So this is that duality of Benjamin, where I understand this church through the fact that, oh yeah, I know where Satan's throne is. Oh yes, I do. But I'm not going to die for him. I'm dying for my Lord. That's part of my family line there, those angels. But I made a Nazirite vow a long time ago. I'm not falling that way. So it says, he who has an ear, let him hear. Verse 17, Revelation 2, chapter 2. These are the letters to the 7 churches. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. To him that overcomes will I give to eat the hidden manna, and will give him a white stone. Let's get the white stone. Dun, 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 dun. Where does it say it? I just saw it. Manna in the Old Testament represents sustenance and life. So the manna is the bread of life. It's the portion that we get. Every day, the Israelites would wake up with Moses, come out of their tents, and the manna would be all over the ground. And there would, however much you needed, you ate. You didn't overstuff yourself. You ate just enough to make it through the day. Morning, noon, night. Go to bed. There was just enough for the day. Otherwise, it would spoil. It would rot. There's no saving it up. And those were the times of the law. You had to eat every day. You had to eat, and it's still the same. We need to eat every day. That's why I'm here every day. I'm feeding myself, and I'm feeding you. And I'll give him a white stone. I thought I saw down here where it talked about the white stone. The white stone with its new name symbolizes acceptance and approval by God. It's already been given to me. And that's where we get the doctrine of once saved, always saved. Once you've martyred yourself in the past for Jesus, if you were ever a martyr, if you ever died for Jesus, that's what this Pergamus church is talking about. When it says, you held fast to my name. You held fast to my name. What's his name? There is no name. These idiot fucking black Hebrew Israelites, these fucking Mongoloids, wicked Judites, they think the name is something you call him. Hey, Bob, what's up, Jimbo? His name is his reputation. You held fast to my reputation. You believed. These guys are fucking morons, man. They think they're so smart. It says, you held fast to my name. That means my reputation. You know who I am. You didn't deny that I'm your fucking God. Sorry. These guys, man. I'm going to try not to go there anymore. They're just whack. I'm glad I'm out of there. Hopefully, my spirit is already feeling so much better without those guys, but whenever it says name now, I'm going to be like, Ugh. Hold fast to my name and didn't deny the faith, even the days wherein Antipas was my faithful martyr, who was slain among you, where Satan dwelleth. Satan didn't kill him. But where does Satan dwell? He dwells in the hearts of men. Satan comes into you. Why does Satan come into people? Because Satan's working to do something to someone else. When Satan came into Judas Iscariot, he came into Judas Iscariot to cause problems for Jesus. And then those devils killed Jesus. That's what it's talking about. That's what's going to happen probably to me. Satan's going to come into someone that has access to me, and they're going to set me up. I've seen it over and over again. And then I'm going to have to die for the Lord. I'm going to be like, you fucking betrayed me. It's nothing new. That's why this harpazo thing, I have no idea what they're fucking talking about. I think I've been martyred more than once. And so that's how I got this white stone. Once you die for Christ, that's what this whole thing that we went into yesterday. Die daily. Be ready to stand up like the Church of Pergamus. Don't go with these Nicolaitans, these black Hebrew niggerites, these motherfuckers, man. They're gonna lead you into a dark fucking place. I don't know what happened. I don't know why I can't understand why it's all Negroes. That's the thing that trips me out. They claim, I'm not going to go into it because it's not worth it. Anyway, and you will receive a new name written, which no man knows, saving he that received it, except. So when I say I'm J.D. Nijah, Adonijah, it doesn't have anything to do with you. It has everything to do with me. The church at Thyatira, and unto the angel of the church of Thyatira write, this is Revelation chapter 2, verse 18. The church at Thyatira, this church is the beginning of the Catholic Church. Did you hear me choke on that? Catholic Church? Let me say something about that real quick. The Catholic Church, this is my understanding from what I've learned over the many, many millennia and looked at. I'm going to try and condense it so you can understand what's going on with the Catholic Church. What they did this Nicolaitan thing. They took information from the Bible. They took real Israelite biblical stories. And this is where the black Hebrew Israelites are right. They infused themselves into Israel. And see, that's why these guys are so dangerous, because they're basically doing the same thing the Catholic Church did, but coming from the other side. They're like, these devils did this. It's like making, how's the Bible say it? There's a Christ and an Antichrist. What the Catholic Church did was design rituals, traditions, feast days. They designed pagan feast days, pagan rituals, that mirrored the Israelite feast days, rituals, and things like that. So some of these, that's why we don't, even as Israelites, that's why we don't go get over the top on the feast days. And we don't follow the Sabbath as explained in the law. We're new creatures. That's done with. So what the new church did, the church that we're under today, this dark cloud of Catholic hierarchy. They set themselves up as a hierarchy, just like the angelic hierarchy. You have popes, bishops, deacons, whatever they call them. I don't, all I know is my side. I try not to involve myself with that side because it messes up my idea of who I am. On the Israelite side, I'm in the hierarchy, but it has nothing to do with the world. It's a spiritual hierarchy. It's a worldly representation of the angelic hierarchy. That's the best way I can explain it. It's a carnal, worldly version of the angelic spiritual hierarchy. So what they did was they brought heaven to earth in their own fucking mind. That's Bible teaching right there. That's heavy shit right there. That's what I've been trying to get through to you. But churchies don't want to hear that. And it's hard for me to bite on because it's like, man, I want to believe that there's something good in the church. You heard me. Just go to church. Just go. If that's all you got, go. I'm like, last few days, now that I'm out of that Black Hebrew niggerite ship, I'm like, the Lord told us to come out of her. And I'm out of her, so why am I telling you to go? It's a dangerous place. Anyhow, let's go into this church of fake hierarchy and fake tradition. And unto the angel of the church of Thyatira write, these things said the Son of God, who has his eyes like unto the flame of fire, and his feet are like the fine brass. I know thy works, and charity, and service, and faith, and thy patience, and thy works, and the last to be more than the first. Works. What do? They go to church every week. They feed the poor. How many different ways do people get to win in the church? You get to win by serving people. It depends on where your heart is. Some people do that for their own selfish ego and for people to go, oh, they're so pious, they're so godly. If you're not doing it for the right reasons, you're just going backwards. So there are people in the church. That's the point I guess I'm trying to make, is there is ways to protect yourself, armor yourself up in the church by being true to yourself. You don't have to cause trouble in the church, but you can question what they're doing, and you can walk away from things that you don't feel good about. My church, Hope Chapel, pushed service to the point where I wasn't comfortable. Too much carnal and not enough spiritual. I know how to serve. I know how to be a nice person. I know how to help. Your patience, your service, your faith, your charity. That means your love, your endurance. Beautiful things. You can learn how to love in the church. So let's talk about the good things about the church. You can do Easter and Christmas if you're doing it the right way. I can't do it the right way anymore. And so it's hard for me to show love through pagan feast days. I can't do it anymore. I did it for a long time, and it wasn't very rewarding. I was never good at it. Even when I believed in it, I wasn't good at it. That's not the way I love. You understand? I love every day. I don't need a special day. And I've said that from the time I was 14 years old. I'm like, not to anyone. I didn't start saying it to anyone probably till I was 22 or 23 when I first got baptized. I started realizing I love you every day, not just one day. That's why I didn't like it. It was making an idol out of love. It was making an idol out of the church, it didn't fit well enough for me. There was too many missing pieces. Notwithstanding, verse 20, we're talking about the church of Thyatira. These are basically in Thyatira, they made purple there. Let me read it to you. Thyatira was located about 20 miles southeast of Pergamos and was the hometown of Lydia, Paul's first convert in Macedonia. The name may mean continual sacrifice. The fire and brass describe Christ's emphasis on judgment. So when you think of continual sacrifice, that's this idea of works. I have to keep going to church every Sunday. I have to go to the food bank. I need to set up the church donuts every week like I did. I have to sing in the choir every week. I have to blah. I have to do communion. I have to confess to the priest. I have to bow. I have to do alms. I have to do the rosaries. You get it? Continual sacrifice. Makes the Lord sick. That shit, let me explain. Those rituals, those traditions, those practices are similar to what happened with my people. The Israelites woke up every morning, take the tents down, put the lavers up, clean up the food, and get ready for the day. Get on the steps, sing. It was like we're doing right here. This is how I do it. Every morning I wake up and I serve the temple, and then in the midday I go about my business, and then the night everything comes together and I download the videos. It's morning, it's the same thing. That's what I'm saying. It's a pagan, carnal attempt at true spiritual service, waking up and actually being in the Spirit, thinking about God, thinking about His Word. It's about everything else but the Word. Grab the beads, talk to the man, eat the bread, drink the little wine. Look at the statue. Think of the statue. You understand what I'm saying? Continual carnal focus instead of spiritual focus. Notwithstanding, I have a few things against you, because you suffer that woman Jezebel, which calls herself a prophetess, to teach and to seduce my servants to commit fornication and to eat things sacrificed unto idols. You get it? Who's a representation somewhat of Jezebel, even though I love my Mother Mary? He's saying you can't let these women come into places of power. Because the reason Jezebel was so wicked is because she usurped Ahab and became a high priestess of wicked Israel. And so when you think of the magic and the power of Israel, that fucking bitch, man, Elijah was scared to death of her. She was a fucking voodoo priestess, man. She was wicked. So when you think of this, what the Catholic Church is doing is they're replacing the beauty of Rachel dying to give birth to Benjamin and then becoming Mary, who gave birth to our Jesus Christ, our Savior. They're taking her and making her into this voodoo priestess of Jezebel and saying, no, she's a god. And I believe she's right there by the throne. I don't know if she's considered a god, but she's my mom, and she's my Lord's mom. I respect her. I had to go apologize because I used to talk bad on the Church of Thyatira. I still don't particularly like what's going on in this world church that we have. It's gonna end up being the wickedest church. Come on, man. Come on, sir. Right? No offense. It just is what it is. What does Pope stand for? Pathetic observance of perpetual entities or principalities. Principalities and powers. Princes observing powerful entities. It's bad. So anyway, I'm not going to start throwing magic at you or anything. I'll be back. We got to get into this, and I'll finish. I'll do one more. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. Enjoy these lessons. Listen, because I'm breaking it down in a way. I'm trying to get it safe. I'm trying to make it safe to be out here and to walk in power. Peace and grace. I'm out.